mga kalaro, and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro lang channel that talks about a different kind of game. The reality TV game show and social experiment that has run for 2 decades, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon, and with me as always is Vice Chief Bisdak Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
Selamat malam Bapak-bapak. Sekarang saya ada di Bali, Indonesia. So if anybody jika ada pemain yang dari sini, like and subscribe.
There you go. I don't quite understand what he just said, but I understood like and subscribe. So you guys better do that.
I'm in Bali, and I didn't bring any of the Council of Titos shirts, but I do have an immunity necklace.
There you go.
Vote me out. Oh yeah, there you go.
Whoa! I mean,
so none of y'all can vote me out of the channel.
Sorry,
none of us can vote him out. And of course, also with us is the man with thoughts, Martin. How are you doing, Marts?
Salamat evening, Jam, and good evening to you, Joe. Finally back in the Philippines.
Okay. Yeah, we missed you last week, man.
No longer purpled in Japan.
No longer purpled in Japan. Okay. Anyway, for tonight, and it is a special episode tonight on the Council of Titos because it is actually our 50th episode. We are going to talk about the latest episode of Survivor Season 45 entitled Following a Dead Horse to Water. But before we begin, do consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get updated whenever we come up with new episodes on the channel. And for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs whenever we talk about Survivor, you can go to wherever you get your podcasts and search for Council of Titos. And so, without further ado, let's begin the 50th episode of Council of Titos. And we've been talking about it off the air. This has so far been the best episode in a season that has been getting better and better. Right?
Yeah, sorry, let me just pull out my notes. I wanted to do the Indonesian introduction without notes. So, I have my notes now. And I have my chocolate milk because it has the palate of an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this episode, best episode so far.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
And
yes, it was Shakespearean. It was Shakespearean.
It was Shakespearean. There you go. Showing our UANP educational background once again. Highest of highs. What have you got? Marts, what was your highest?
Thing was awesome.
I'm sorry, what?
The knife thing. That was the highest of the highs.
I want to go on that after Jao does. But yeah, Jao, how come?
Because we're starting to get Sassy Jeff back.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know.
and it's like the rice negotiation has been kind of meaningless in the past few seasons. All of a sudden now with the knife thing, it added a little bit more tension, even though it wasn't really a negotiation so much as it was a hostage of the rice, right? It's like you can stop the bleeding, but it made it feel more important.
Yeah, putting a clock on how much rice they'd get depending on how many of them step up at the right time. Right?
Yeah, and it has the same sort of imagery as an hourglass, and I really like hourglass imagery to talk about time, right? Which is why the smashing of the hourglass thing was kind of annoying because it was using the image of an hourglass completely incorrectly. But now they managed to get a nice little hourglass thing going on without having to use an actual hourglass. Apparently they practiced that a lot.
Wait, which one?
The knife thing. Yeah, it's
they had
yeah, they were all right, try doing this. Try doing it and spinning the knife. See if it goes down a little too fast. Try poking it.
Was Jatia
apparently Jeff practiced that a lot.
Spot?
Sorry, what was that, Marts?
Was it Jatia who was teaching Jeff to do that to the rice? Sorry for the
no, but didn't Jatia just throw the rice at the At the Coles or something.
Yeah. Maybe a few years later, so it was like, you know what, Jeff? That was very not creative of me. Here, try the knife.
Mhm. Why is Jatia still
He
involved in
actually
Survivor?
I don't think so, but I think she is in spirit, at least in
Mhm.
this
it's
episode.
Martin's headcanon. But
Yeah,
in the on fire episode
on
with
fire episode.
well, Jeff Probst is there about one third of the time. Um, but on the on fire episode, he actually gave credit to the person that came up with the idea. I
Mm.
can't remember exactly who it was. It was one of the producers. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, you know, it'd be really cool if you had like a knife and it, you know,
Just
and
stab.
yeah. So apparently they practiced it quite a bit so that you know the bag wouldn't like completely rip and they lose all their rice in one fell swoop.
Mhm.
Um, you know, if he doesn't put enough of if he doesn't put enough of a hole, then it becomes just a moot point. So
Mhm.
like, I'm just saying, it was one of the best things that like I've seen.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it seemed as if it was so precise the way that Jeff did that. That it created the right amount of tension to force the castaways to act faster, right? No longer was there like a whole back and forth with the okay, what if we just sit down three and you give us half of the sack or something like that, right? It was just like no, this is not a
Nope.
negotiation,
Mm-mm.
right? Just like what he did with Drew in the auction. I'm up for
Yeah,
a negotiation, Jeff. If there's something to be made, no.
Nope.
yeah. It's not a negotiation. It's a hostage situation.
Yes, it is a hostage situation. It is a. It's not exactly like I forget what they call it in superhero parlance, where you're given a choice of two things. It's not exactly like that, but it was sort of like that. Like the whole Spider-Man Green Goblin thing, where it's either the save the children or save Mary Jane, right? It wasn't exactly like that, but it was
Yeah,
sort of like that.
yeah. And according to Spider-Verse, that happens in every universe.
Yeah,
Because it's canon.
yeah, it's a canon event.
Canon event. Uh,
There's a
Yeah,
yeah. I know that there's a term for it.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, Marty,
anyway,
we're gonna add on to what Joe was saying.
yeah, as Zhao said, welcome back, Jeff Probes. Oh God, I miss this Jeff. I really miss this Jeff. Like the Jeff that is too tired of your bullshit, Jeff. The Jeff that's like, you know what? Stop wasting my time. This is the rice. You don't want the rice? All right, here's me stabbing the rice. Okay, you don't want to sit down? Someone's gonna sit down now. Someone's gonna sit down the challenge now.
Mhm.
Like this is the next level, like way past few seasons ago of I don't have to make the deal. You make the deal. My life is fine.
Mm.
This is next level Jeff saying my life is fine. +1.
Which
So you
season?
guys
Which season was that? Was that the season
Blood
with the
versus
jacket
Fire.
as well? No.
Oh no, different, way different. It's with the Christie brothers. Like either Drew or Alec Christie was trying to negotiate for the fire because, like, I think they already ran out of either rice or flint, and he
Mm.
was trying to negotiate at the worst kind of way, and that's
Yeah,
why
and it
that
was also at this same a similar challenge,
yeah
right? I mean, one of the
similar
first
challenge.
individual challenges.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that was fun. So
And this
welcome
was
back,
all of this.
Fancy Jeff.
Am I right? It was Angelica who first who started the whole negotiation attempts at negotiation with Jeff.
Like a legit attempt, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because before people were just trying, hey, can we have this? But you're not even making a deal here. It was like,
Yeah, and it was Angelica who was like really stepped up
yeah,
and really asked if something could be done. Hmm. Well, Jeff
yeah.
is showing us that nope, no, no deals to be made here. Yeah, and
The the
yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Titos must
pussyfooting
have gotten
around,
to him.
guys. Now or never. Step down or no rice.
Mm. Anyway, Joe, you were starting to say
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
The two quits must have gotten to him.
Yep,
Like,
actually.
Yeah.
Actually, like the Rob and Stephen was talking about that, like in the know-it-alls, like the delayed know-it-alls.
Hmm.
Like, I think this might be because of the quits. It just like made Sassy Jeff come back faster after 4.5 seasons.
Yeah, he's not. He's all business, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
enjoys seeing the castaways having fun, and he has fun when they are having fun. But I'm here to facilitate the game, and I'm here to make it exciting. This is how I'm going to make it exciting, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of exciting, I mean, I like the fact that they, aside from the fact that they brought back the auction, I like the fact that they changed up the auction. I love
Oh yeah.
that's one of my
Yeah.
highs, right? The changes that they made, the tribe collecting their own money, that was a nice new twist. Actually, all of the changes they made, and I think that
Oh,
we talked about it
well,
last time, like there being no advantages in the auction, right? We talked about it
I'm
possibly happening.
I'm gonna give you the dub on this, Joe, because your your prediction or your what you wanted to happen for the next episode was like when we had that shot of Jake getting money or getting something from the tree,
Mm.
you were like,
Yeah.
I bet that's extra money for the auction. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it wasn't just
I
him
think they could
though.
have that was everybody, but I think they could have done better because I was looking through like our predictions from last week, and what we were saying we wanted to see was that the advantage that Jake got would be some sort of beware advantage or something, where
Mm.
he has to buy the thing in the where he has to buy a specific item at the auction, maybe the fish eyes, and
Mhm.
it just so happens to be the one that has the advantage in it.
Oh.
You know, like or something like that. Like that would have been cooler. But yeah, I really loved the running around the jungle for money thing. It
Mhm.
felt like old school Survivor. Like
I
uh
remember you keep on alluding to this, the one with Colby running into the forest,
yeah.
with a tied to like the rope or something like that.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. It felt like, season 3, season 2 Survivor type
Mhm.
stuff. You know,
Mm.
uh, no 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 marked no marked boxes like the Amazing Race or whatever. Like
Mhm.
no bright, flashy colors that make the Survivor challenges look like
They're
something straight out of the Big Brother house. Like,
exactly.
so yeah, it felt good. It felt good. The running around. I
Yeah.
was I was thinking like when they were bringing the table, right? It's like, yeah, this has got to be like the auction thing. But part of me was like, wouldn't it be cool if those were letters from home? Because
Ooh.
like
Oh.
when they brought them out, right? It was like on plates, like
Mhm.
letters from home. But no, just uh just a random thought that popped into my head.
A good random thought. A good
Like
random thought.
I mentioned, like I mentioned, we watched the episode on the plane, so I was falling in and out of sleep the first viewing. So like, ah, letters from home.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
especially when they started putting
my
down the names,
superpower is I
right?
can fall asleep in any moving vehicle. Yeah, yeah,
When they started putting down the names, it was
right?
like you had this expectation that it was gonna be something personal. But yeah, aside from that, the fact that
Yeah,
so there were no advantages in the actual auction. We talked about that last time, and we said that we hope that there wasn't going to be anything like that, so that people are forced to. I mean, it's out of their minds already. And then I like the fact that also that there was an indefinite number of items up for auction that really helped. Also, I think it was. I'm going to talk about it as part of my lows as well. Uh, but yeah, I mean I think that helped give our castaways more incentive to spend, right? Because
Yeah.
they didn't know when it was gonna end, right? And well, on top of that, whoever
I
had the
have
most money in the end would lose their vote.
Yeah, because the meta before was save that money. You might have immunity or like an advantage,
Yeah,
right?
an advantage. Yeah.
Now they reverse that meta.
Yeah. Anyway, you're going to say something,
Yeah,
Jeff.
well, I'm actually gonna include that in my I'm gonna include that in my lows
I also
because I
have.
didn't quite like the auction mechanics.
Mm,
Okay.
But like conceptually, big picture, I like that they had the auction, and I love that they changed it up.
mm,
To make it more about like the auction, make it more about the food than it is about anything else.
trying to get an
You know,
advantage, right?
Yeah.
so like, yeah, yeah. Like that's it was nice that Jeff said it like right up front. Okay, no advantages, and you know that actually seemed to be the consensus among the Survivor
Yeah.
community, that the single worst thing about the auction in seasons past was the introduction of advantages as items that you could bid on.
Hmm.
So, you know, like biggest props in the world for them actually listening after 10 seasons.
Yeah. And well, staying on the auction, I love the fact that we saw that side of Emily when she got the charcuterie board. Right,
Oh,
that was
Mm,
just
yeah.
yes.
totally a different kind of Emily,
Oh,
and it continues to build her how do you say this, her persona for us, the optics of Emily is getting better and better because we are slowly forgetting the fact that she was so abrasive and so brash in the first episode, and we're seeing all of these things, and we see that the other castaways are like accepting of her. Like when it came up, they were like, "You deserve this, girl," and
Yeah.
all of that. They were also supportive of her, and that was just, yeah. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of positive about Emily, especially now that Caleb is gone, right? So she doesn't owe anyone, quote unquote, for getting her to where she
Yeah.
is from now on, and we're seeing a different kind of character from Emily.
There's
What
something
was
really
what
like
was the
interesting about that. I guess
yeah.
this is also a high.
Mm,
Like talking about Emily, this is a high on production, right? Because um how they managed to craft Emily's story. Because I was watching the secret scene from last episode or the merge episode
mhm.
where they picked the tribe name
mm-hmm,
and were painting their new tribe flag, right? And the final confessional of that secret scene or that deleted scene was bitchy Emily. She was like,
oh,
"We shouldn't be wasting time on coming up with new tribe name and painting flags and arts and crafts. We should be playing the game. Like,
mm,
I can see why you cut that out."
yeah,
And the fact of their being able to craft a story with an with a stark change in Emily when really I don't think the change was actually that stark.
mm-hmm,
Because like her confessionals now, um, at least the ones that they show on the show aren't as abrasive and as bitchy as,
mm-hmm.
maybe bitchy isn't the right word. Um,
um,
as the first
confrontational.
like episode, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, confrontational, standoffish.
yeah,
Like they're a lot, they're a lot more quote unquote reasonable, I guess. But she
mm,
still gives confessionals in that episode one style, even into the merge, but they're not showing it for obvious storytelling reasons. And the fact that they can tell us that story in that way is just straight up props to the Survivor editing team. I really love the Survivor editing team, particularly since I found out that like that one of the editors was the drummer of a punk band that I used to like back when or a power pop band that I used to like
uh-huh,
back when I was in high school. Anyway,
uh-huh.
I just had to bring that up. that like it's nice to see a different side of Emily, but it's really cool that that is by design.
Yeah, yeah. Now speaking of the editing team, oh, I had one editing high here, and it's with the it's the cut to after the formation, quote unquote, of the Women's Alliance, where they're all talking
Oh
about
yeah.
they're talking about putting together the Women's Alliance, and then someone I don't remember who said it, and someone said like, "Oh, do you think the guys are like? There's four of us and there's six of them. Do well, we should do something or something like that." So they were thinking that that's what the
Yeah.
guys were thinking about, and then we cut to the guys and they're talking about tacos.
Yeah. Amazing.
Taco burrito.
It reminds me of that that meme about where you have got this woman who's like, I wonder if he's thinking about me, or what he's thinking about.
Other women.
Yeah, I wonder if he's thinking about other women, and then the guy is like thinking about something totally different.
Yeah, like video games or something.
Yeah.
Or in our case, Survivor.
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 Like you can absolutely count me in there, right? Like if ever my wife has anything like, oh God, like no, I'm just thinking about Survivor.
So yeah, that was an editing high for me. Yeah. What about you, Marts? Any other highs on your plate?
Nah, just like the reaction of Jake. Like, oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Like in the tribal.
Oh,
Because like I don't know if he's just out of it. Because in the past episodes we've noticed him like space out, right?
well, even in this episode, he spaced
Right?
out when he was
Feels
answering
like
Jeff's question.
yeah. So I don't know if that part was him spacing out again and then just realized, wait, someone got voted out. Wait, Kelly got voted out. Like in his Joey Tribbiani kind of way, right? That's how it felt for me. Like he's Joey from Friends in that portion.
Hmm.
So that's a bit of a personal high. Like gameplay wise, really not good, Jake, but that was entertaining for me.
Hmm.
So good job,
Well,
Jake.
What do
Good
you
job.
mean? What do you mean really not good? I think it was a stroke of genius. The man is an
mm,
actor. This
he's,
has
he's,
been
he's,
like
yeah,
sort of the debate. Or this has been
yeah.
a bit of the debate in the
Guys who
Survivor
play the
community.
game would be debating that, but at the end he was also Stephen was also saying like, okay, how can you act when you're bereft of sleep, nutrients for the past week or so? Like
2 weeks.
we've
Two
saw
weeks.
people act in
Well,
Survivor,
he had
like
tacos the last
freaking
episode.
yeah, like freaking Ozzy. Have you seen Ozzy try to act like he was betrayed by Cochrane in South Pacific? God, you can't give
Yeah,
that guy an Oscar.
but
That
But
was
this
bad
guy's a
acting.
thespian. This guy is
Oh, he
actually
is?
this
in
guy is an
theater.
actual actor.
All right. I
Yeah,
know, like
he
if we're
teaches
out
Like
theater to kids,
there,
right?
this,
yeah. Like if I'm
yeah, this guy
out of
teaches
sleep,
theater
can
to
I
kids.
still act though? Like that's my question too. Maybe
Well,
he's like the greatest actor, I guess. So good on you, Jake.
not
I just
necessarily the
like that
greatest, but
moment. Yeah.
well, I do understand where he came from though, because he was talking about people dogpiling on the easy vote, right? If
Yeah.
it hadn't been, if Bruce hadn't had that necklace around his neck,
Oh
it
yeah,
would
he
have
would
been
have been
him. They
gone.
would have dogpiled on him just the same way as they were dogpiling on Caleb the last episode. He was talking all about that. So he went into the tribal, thinking that they were going to dogpile on him. That's why when all of a sudden the core
Kelly.
four, the Reba four plus Emily
Yeah.
shifted their votes over to Kelly, that took him by surprise. I mean, again, that goes back to his thespian background, that his emotions are right out there and it's so easy for him to access it and then show it. That's why he had to go, oh, and then he pulled himself back.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still my high.
Right.
I
And
like
then
that.
he even like had this idea, oh my gosh, people are playing Survivor. They're not just dogpiling on the easy vote. Right. He had that
Mm.
thinking. He said it. Right. People are playing Survivor because that's what he's been
Yeah.
waiting for people to make moves. Yeah.
I just really love his my idol. I mean,
Yeah, that one.
an idol.
Yeah.
Like
That I
that was
think was
when
very
was
much
like,
on purpose.
okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so like his being out of it, at least before the votes came in, like his being out of it before the votes came in could have been, you know, him being an actor.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Like,
Mm.
to present himself as being so out of it that way, when he pretends to say my idol, supposedly like screws it up.
it's a slip of the
Like,
tongue.
it's believable. There's character motivation there.
Hmm.
So it's like, um what's it? It's it's I guess it's kind of like improv, right? It's improv. He has like
Improv.
one key line. He has one key line, and he has to find the motivation for that line to come out. And he draws upon his hunger. He draws upon his tiredness to create that sort of motivation, that sort of out of itness. That way, when he says, I mean, an idol, it's believable
All right.
Mm.
because he was completely eloquent for the entire like time, and he slips that up, then it isn't as believable as if, as the way that he did it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you put yourself out there as someone who can slip up because of your
Yeah.
hunger, because of your lack of sleep, and all of that. And then while you're talking about what you're talking about, you talk straight, and then all of a sudden you have this one slip, and you could see with the reaction of everyone else, and they actually foreshadowed that because when Jake was talking to Julie at the top of the episode, he was like, I'm really sorry I lied to you. And was I believable when I told you that I was gonna vote with you guys? And then Julie was like, yeah, you were. You believed me? Yeah. Not anymore though, right?
Oh yeah.
And Julie was like, not anymore.
Yeah,
But it goes back to the fact that
yeah.
Jake can actually put a masquerade on, right?
But, I guess we really aren't going to know about this until
An
his
exit
exit, no, until
interview.
his winner
Yeah.
interview, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, well,
Oh yeah,
his
you
winner
got
interview,
him. You
this is
got
my
him as your
canonical
winner
winner
pick.
pick
Yeah,
after.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got it.
So, his winner interview, they're going to definitely ask him like, was that acting? And that's when we will know
Acting.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to believe that it is
Yeah, that he'd been.
for obvious, for obvious winner pick
Obviously, the
reasons.
reasons.
Now going back to hunger and all of that though, uh, Kelly actually got most the most food from the auction. She got the fries and the soda, and then she got the PB and J and margarita,
My God.
right? But we didn't really see if she actually
Yeah.
finished the PB and J because right after she right after she won the PB and J, all of a sudden the auction was done. The auction was over. So did they give her time to eat all of
Yeah,
that?
they
I
supposedly
think so. Yeah.
Oh, they
they
did.
supposedly gave her extra time. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Because that
was
would have
that? I don't
sucked. I
know.
mean, you
Yeah.
you paid like how much money? $200 for that. Well, it's still cheaper than the $900 chocolate milkshake that D had.
Yeah.
Right? But still, PB and J and
Yeah,
a margarita. I don't.
$900.
I want to.
Weird ass combo.
Yeah, I want to ask you. Yeah, PB and J and margarita. Does that even work?
Jow, does it work? Because I don't drink. Just kidding.
Right? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a margarita. I do not.
Personally,
Hmm.
you know, personally, I think it's a bad idea to like drink while you're out on the island with it, like drink on an empty stomach,
Yeah.
particularly a margarita, which has like citrusy elements to it, like
Mhm.
But I don't know. I've never tried a PB and J with a margarita. We should try it out the next time that
Yeah,
like we're there.
I guess it sounds like a plan.
yeah.
With
It's weird. It sounds like a
yeah.
weird combo, and it's weird that they put that together.
Weird enough to work. Nah.
But it's like but then like our favorite Cebuano pizza chain, Martin, the
Oh yeah, the Albertos.
Alberto's
Oh yeah, Alberto's.
Oreo pizza,
Yeah, to be honest, I tried
right?
Oreo pizza plus the
Like
pineapples there. It was good.
Yeah, but it I
it's
that
not that
works
good,
for
but
me. That works for me because it's chocolate peanuts, isn't it?
yeah,
Doesn't it have peanuts and then Oreos
Yeah, I think it was like
and
mozzarella
cheese.
Oreo bits
and
or
But
cheese? It's
it's just
salty and
cheese
sweet.
and
so and sweet.
yeah. But then like when you first see it, you're like, really?
Yeah, but
I don't know if
who
that's gonna
was it?
work. And then like when you try
Someone
it
did it
out, like,
here
oh my
though.
God, where have you been all my life?
Someone did it.
Yeah,
I think Shakey's was it. They tried doing
they tried.
a brownie pizza or something like that that
Oh,
also had cheese. So it was chocolate and cheese. So I think that they picked it up from Alberto's.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you
And
never know.
I've made
It might
sorry,
work.
I've made like what do you call this? Bread. What do you call that? Unleavened bread. But yeah, the like, sort of like the tacos, the soft taco shell. And then what I did was I put bacon and then I made my own spicy chocolate syrup, put them all together, and it was glorious.
oh man.
My
Yeah.
sandwich is burdened with glorious
Glorious
purpose.
purpose.
Glorious purpose.
Yeah. So anyway, so
I,
enough
I
talk
was
about food because I don't want to
I
keep on. I don't want to have to order food again after this. Anyway, you were saying, Joe,
but it's the auction. It's the auction.
the fish eyes for $100. I mean, what the hell was Austin thinking? I guess it was just for the experience, no?
I mean,
Just to get rid of it, just to kill his remaining money.
yeah.
Maybe, maybe because he wouldn't. Yeah, yeah. Everyone else had more, so he wouldn't have been able to bid
Yeah,
on anything else. That was actually that was a strategy part of it.
yeah. So, can are there any other highs? Because if we're gonna be talking auction,
Well,
uh,
I'm good with my highs. I'm done.
yeah, I just have the high. Well, my last high here is like, it seems, and it's a high for me because I actually I'm getting around to liking her. Emily's path to victory just keeps getting clearer and clearer.
Oh,
yeah,
Caleb, Caleb and Kelly are gone, and technically the only people in her path right now, viable people in her path, are Dee and Bruce, and it seems like Dee's got a huge target on her back next episode. Yeah.
yeah,
oh snap. Yeah,
yeah.
Kelly's gone.
So
So that means Austin's thing is already a full idol. So I guess one of the highest, since he's my
Mm.
winner pick, he has two hidden immunity items now, which can also be a low because he might get James out of the game.
Mm.
Like,
Well, it's hard for him to be able to be what do you call this? To get James out of the game because the core four seem to be the
boring.
power group right now. And yeah.
yeah,
And dude, Drew has some agency in this game right now. He's the one steering the core four right now.
Mhm.
Right? He
yeah.
was
That
the
was
one who
amazing.
Stealing.
yeah, he was the one who said, okay, we should be going for Kelly. Take the Jake conundrum out of the equation. Let's just go for Kelly. Right?
Yeah, what's it? It isn't always the best plan, but it's the last
It's the
plan that
last plan.
gets
Oh yeah.
played on. And his
Yeah.
was the last plan.
Yeah. He
So
may not have
yeah,
gotten the negotiation that he wanted in the auction. He ended up with candies and chocolates, but he gets credit for taking Kelly out.
yeah.
And yeah. Anyway, so that's it for my highs. I guess we can go to the lows. Let's go start with you, Joe.
Well,
Yeah.
first off, I would like to, on behalf of Filipino seafarers, I would like to, um, I suppose, complain. I would like to put Jeff Probst on notice for his mischaracterization of Filipino cuisine. Um, we don't eat fish eyes raw, Mr. Probst.
Why
We we
did
cook
he
them
say something like that?
before eating.
Did you say?
He said
Because
it on fire.
one of the yeah um a Filipino member of their crew, like one of the captains or something, bit into or tested out the raw fish eye,
Mhm.
saying that fish eye is something that we eat in the Philippines. Um, yes, we do eat fish eyes. It's amazing. We just suck them out of the head
Mm.
in like that sour soup that we have.
Mm.
It's amazing. It's absolutely delicious. But we cook them.
Yeah.
Just so that we're clear. It isn't like fish eye sashimi.
It's not raw.
First low. First low. It's not in the episode itself, but it's from the On Fire, the
Mm.
gross mischaracterization of Filipino cuisine. A
Yeah.
whack of the finger to Mr. Jeff Probst.
Yes, Jeff. How dared you? You haven't even come back to film here. You're stuck in Fiji.
Mm. So anyway, yeah. So that was.
Although I will say though, I used to
Mm.
really look forward to sucking out the eyes of a fish in like soup.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom
Anyway,
does that. I actually haven't
so
really,
that
because
that
I'm not
was
a fan of tinua. That's why I'm not a fan of
Quinoa.
tinua. So
okay.
That's
I've never
the
gotten around to
soup.
actually doing it. Yeah, that's the
The soup with
basically
sour
fish
soup.
tinola.
Ah,
That's why it's tinua.
Yeah.
because what
Yeah.
I heard from Jao, I thought he meant the sour soup is like, sinigang or something.
It's sort of like
Are sinigang?
fish sinigang, but not exactly. It has different components. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that was my first low. A little
Your
bit
first love.
joking, a little bit serious.
Yeah. Of course, as the
Because
Filipino
I couldn't.
the Filipino podcast covering Survivor, we have to say something like that.
Like hiya. Hiya.
No, we're not
Oh,
Uncle Roger,
we ain't
so
Uncle
that's fine.
Rogering that.
Yeah.
I can just say
So anyway, you
Yeah,
said
we say
I
hi
yeah.
nako.
hi nako.
Yes, there you go. You do have something a low about the auction mechanics, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Uh they there is no agency in them losing their vote.
How so?
It's not like they can choose to lose their vote, and there is no choice to not spend.
There is no
They're
choice to
forced to
not spend.
spend.
Have to
That's
spend.
why Austin did that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think that was what they were going for. They wanted people to spend. But I do also have that like
yeah,
uh
Yeah.
yeah, they wanted the castaways to bid on the items. They wanted them to not be conservative with their money. And I think that it in one way it did backfire on them on production.
yeah.
It
Like
was a
after the
reaction. Yeah.
yeah, like after the fifth item, what was it? After the fifth item, it just incentivized them to spend all their money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like
It wasn't an auction anymore. It was like, okay, I've got the most money. I'm gonna bid on the next item, however much it, whatever it is, however much money I've got, I'm gonna bid on it. I'm gonna bid all of my money on it.
that
Yeah,
felt
so it wasn't fun anymore at that
Yeah.
point.
that's true. Wow. When Zhao mentions that, it reminds me like it's the fourth quarter, we gotta spend this money, or else budget's gonna cut us for next year. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
That's how, oh, it's October, it's
Yeah,
November. Still
yeah.
have a lot of money, spend it now. I'm like, fine, okay, here's
Martin is Martin,
Hello?
being a political science guy, is talking about the national budget
Yeah.
because if your administrative agency still has money left over at the end of the year, um,
It reverts back
Congress is
to the
going to
national treasury.
question, yeah,
Why did you
and
give you
they
this
put
money
it
then, right?
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why there's a lot of useless spending. That's why roads keep getting asphalted when they don't need to be. Um,
basketball courts are made.
I'm
Rather.
looking at you, all the traffic being caused by that 100 million peso project to asphalt a road that didn't need asphalting.
But they have to spend.
But
Yeah.
they had to spend all of that money. It's got the same sort of thing with the Survivor auction,
It felt
right?
like that
So
now. Yikes.
yeah, but it isn't that the money goes back to the national treasury. By the way, it's the money goes back to the national treasury. And if you asked for a budget of 100 million pesos last year, which is tiny, but you asked for like a budget of a
Mm.
billion pesos last year, and you only spent 900 million of it, Congress
Like,
is not going to give you the billion
mm-mm.
in the next year.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
give you 900 million. So they have to spend that money wastefully, which kind of sucks. Like those auction mechanics, I realized that it was a reaction. So I'm a reaction to um how the auction was done in the past.
Hmm.
But I think there are some points for improvement.
Hmm.
Particularly since
Definitely.
after the fifth item, you're just incentivizing them to spend all of their money. And so what ends up happening is you look at the people that have the most money coming into the final five, and you know that okay, she's going to spend all her money, then he's going to spend all his money, then she's going to spend all her money, then he's going to spend all his money, and it becomes a matter of what rock Jeff Probst drew,
Hmm.
and tada, somebody lost their vote, and they had nothing, and there was nothing that they could have done about it.
Yeah. Bruce never even bid on anything.
Just had $80.
Because he could, well, he should have bid on those fish eyes.
Yeah,
True.
probably. But then again, Austin would have still outbid him because he had 100.
Yep.
All right.
And that's why it sucks.
Yeah.
That's why the mechanic doesn't work.
Yeah. True.
And
Yeah.
they couldn't pull their money together, right? I'm not sure. I seem to
I don't think
remember
that
that they could have,
would.
yeah.
Is that something that they could have done before, Marts? Was that ever done before?
Oh yeah, they have pooled their money like on like sharing like Survivor A pools money with Survivor B to share a pizza meal or to share a big chocolate cake. I remember those episodes, but
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember which seasons those were, but those are like early
I remember
seasons.
the chocolate
Those happened.
cake, especially because Siri was on it, and then the dude
Oh,
who
Eric.
got Eric,
Eric.
yeah,
Yeah,
paid
with
her like
the finger
an
licking.
amount to lick her fingers.
Yeah.
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 Can I lick your fingers?
Actually, that was the image that came to mind
Guys, what's wrong?
when
Guys,
Carolyn
what's wrong?
asked Jam Jam to like burp on her face
Oh my
last
god.
season. Like burp on me. And, like, now there's Jam Jam burping um Carolyn. But there, I feel like they could have done better with the auction. But
Mm,
it's nice that it's back. I'm
Oh yeah.
sure that there's a better way to do it
yeah, there definitely is.
while keeping the running around the jungle.
Yeah, yeah. It should be a. It shouldn't be a free for all. I think that they should have gone with just one person get it, knowing that there are these items all around that can give you special advantages in the auction or something. Yeah, like you can swap an item or right. You
You
have special
can
powers in the
yeah,
auction.
veto a
Yeah,
bid or something,
Yeah, or something like
right?
that.
But
yeah.
I,
Well,
I
you know what would have been
yeah,
great if there was an advantage in the fisheye.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they were
But
mentioning
then again, Jeff already said no. You can't.
no
You're not
advantages.
bidding on any advantages.
Yeah,
It's
I
at
think there is
least
a place for advantages in the auction. Um,
mhm,
like they could be in. Well,
yeah.
oh no.
No,
Oh, what
oh,
happened?
whoa, 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 whoa.
No! Oh, I'm back. Must be the immunity idol.
Somebody tried voting you out and it
Someone
vetoed
tried to
your
vote you
immunity.
out.
Yeah. Does not count.
What?
Does not count.
Yeah, the immunity. No, the immunity. I'm sure there's a place for advantages in the auction.
Mhm.
The players just shouldn't know where it is.
But the
Oh.
moment that because I mean that happened in the first few times that they had advantages in the auction. That happened. People didn't quite know where the advantage was gonna come, so they were still spending. And but as soon as they know, okay, an advantage is gonna come up, or we're gonna we're gonna be able to bid on something that we're really gonna like. So that's when they started being conservative with their money. That's why I think it was important for Jeff to be up front with it. Like there's no advantages here, right? Because if
Yeah,
he had not said that, people would still have been very conservative with their money.
yeah. So what I'm saying is next time, right? Hide an advantage in the cake, you know,
Mm.
or hide an advantage like underneath the fries or something. You know, it's
At
not
the
that they kind
bottom
of
of
don't know where
the
it is. It's,
Bottom of
at the
the
bottom of the glass of the soda, there's
Oh yeah.
like a coin or something there.
yeah, or like the on the coaster,
Yeah, or one of the ice
like
in whatever the drinks that you get. There's something in the middle.
yeah.
Anyway, so
I
we're
think there is a place for it. There
yeah
is a place for it. Uh, and you know, people will still spend their like it's like primarily they're still there for food. It's just every now and then somebody's you know gonna get an extra vote or something.
mm, yeah
Yeah, be the person with like the least money.
goes on a journey. The person with the least amount of
Yeah,
money, but
I don't know.
actually still having money, would go on a
Yeah, but
journey.
that isn't zero. Goes on a journey or
Yeah.
something like that. You know that way they're still incentivized to spend.
Mm.
And yeah, so something to that effect. I don't know. I'm sure there's a better way to do it. I just didn't like the mechanics of this specific one, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
big picture, big picture, I really like the auction.
Yeah. So anyway,
Anything else you guys want to
what
say
about yeah, Mart?
about the auction?
No,
The auction, I'm
Or
good with the auction.
I'm okay with the auction because
Yeah.
you already mentioned it and it really hit me on the low. Like, yeah, it feels like government spending on the fourth quarter. So I'm like,
yeah,
wow.
so
Thanks a
so
lot, Jeff.
so I'll just rip the band-aid.
Thanks a lot. I didn't want to remind myself that it's already the fourth quarter, but gee,
So
thanks. Gee, totally not ruining the mood, Jeff. But yeah,
so I'll rip
another
the band-aid
low, I
off for our
guess,
next low.
Yeah.
is the no, Kelly's gone. I know I predicted it, but
Kelly.
wow,
Yeah.
yikes. You know, it feels like she was the
Whew.
I know I already said it to Jay Maya. I think this is like this person was allied or like you know targeted because
She
she
was
was like
voted out because of association.
yeah association of Bruce.
Yeah, with Bruce.
So
Yeah.
imagine like
And also on top of that, I think that people were affected by Jake's bluff.
oh yeah they were scared of
Yeah.
it yeah
Yeah.
they yeah that's true but wow yeah I feel bad you know what I'm sorry Jay Maya if there's a returning season I gotta pick one of you it has to
It's
be
Kelly. Come on.
Kelly it's gotta be
Let's
Kelly
Kelly go
sorry
on
Jay Maya
Kelly. Hundred
She was
percent.
she
Hundred
played more
percent it's Kelly.
yeah
strategically.
that's it
I mean, like I said in our episode after the J Maya boot, I'm sure that J Maya wanted to play strategically, but she didn't
but
have
yeah
the people to play with. Nobody wanted to play strategically with her. Kelly,
I think Kelly,
on the
wow.
other hand, played strategically, and she would have been able to bring Bruce all the way to the end, and yeah,
Win.
do what who was that? Who was it? The one who got all the votes instead of your favorite, Marts? Russell Hantz?
Oh, Natalie Whitehead.
There you
Um,
go.
But
Yeah, she would have Natalie
technically,
Bruce.
Natalie won by just one vote.
Yeah,
Not
but yeah,
two.
but she won
She won
instead
either
of
way. Yeah,
Russell, right? So that's what would have happened. But yeah, had it not been for the bluff of Jake, Jake would have gone home, and Kelly would have lived for another day, and then Bruce would go home, and whatever. Yeah, but yeah,
yeah, but yeah,
uh,
that's what we're being told, right? That's what we're being told. Like the
the
plan
narrative.
the plan was the plan could have been Jake or Kelly feel out tribal, and then when Jake says it, when Jake does his bluff,
Oh snap!
then
Kelly, gotta be Kelly.
that's when Vienna,
it
that's when the
was
Reba Alliance,
yeah.
like that's when the Reba Alliance decides that that plan is going to be the plan.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ah, yeah, Kelly,
poor Kelly.
poor Kelly. She didn't even know. She didn't even have her torch.
Yeah, like oh, he doesn't have my torch.
Apparently, she blacked out.
Yeah, I
What?
saw that. I saw that because she attended, I think, a viewing of the episode, and then afterwards she
Yeah,
explained what happened.
Oh, the one that
yeah.
Rob Sesternino
Apparently,
hosted. Yeah. Oh crap! I didn't see that
and like
one.
apparently she didn't remember saying like "What the hell, guys." She didn't
Mm.
remember not grabbing her torch.
Yeah, it was
Like
so that was a
I don't
blind
know.
side if there was any if
No
there
way.
was one. Right.
But that's
So she
Yeah,
concerning.
was totally blindsided by that. Well, and so was Kendra. Right. Kendra was in tears.
and throughout like the rest of the season, we have been told over and over again that Jake was the one that gets blackouts.
Now it's Kelly.
Hey, Kelly blacked out
Right?
here.
Like what?
Sorry. That's neither
Nice,
here nor
nice,
there.
nice. Yeah. But yeah, nice callback. It was foreshadowed. Someone from below blacks out.
Right,
But not Jake. This
and
time.
sort of like and that's sort of like holding Caulfield and his whole catcher in the rye thing. It's the
Mm,
person that tries to help others, like is the one that needs the most help.
yeah.
Oh.
Ah. Anyway, on the flip side of that, Bruce won the challenge. I mean, oh gosh, that had to be that for me. That was low, because it only fueled his being so full of himself. Right?
Yeah,
He's gotten
the
so
Bruce
full
heel
of
turn.
himself. Yeah, the Bruce heel turn. He had to put it out there during tribal. Jeff, I'd like to know the statistics of how many people didn't have a vote but won immunity. Yada yada yada.
It's just you, Bruce.
Yeah,
It's like Brucey,
Yeah.
Brucey in his head instead of
I
Angle.
suppose no matter how bad Bruce gets, he's never going to reach levels of Russell Hands since
Yeah,
y'all brought him up.
it's more goofy for Bruce instead of like mean spirited Russell Hand. Like, I don't like you. I'm the greatest survivor because all y'all dumb. And like Bruce, like, oh wow, I'm the greatest. Yay!
I think Bruce is somewhere in between Russell Hantz and who's that guy?
Tony?
The secret agent. No, Tony's
Oh, Philip
Tony
Shepard?
Philip Shepard. There you go. So
I
he's,
can see
he's
that. Yeah, I
in
can see that.
between the two of those
Wedge.
guys.
I can see that.
Annoying, but also sort of like not in touch with what's actually happening in the tribe. Yeah.
And then he'll pull out the Carolyn in the end, like, yeah, this is an act.
I can see that. I can see that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Carolyn in the RHP episodes, he was like saying, no, I feel bad for Bruce. It's just him being a dad. He's just doing the dad jokes and stuff. And it's like a generational thing. That's how she's defending Bruce and how editors are putting him out as an out of touch Boomer. I think he's a Gen X, man. Because the
He's
boomers
Gen
right now
X.
would be way older than
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Bruce.
Gen X. He's Gen X.
And it's more of a generational thing now than it is a you know, there's a mindset. So yeah, I think one of the people who are rooting for Bruce obviously is like his former tribe mates in Carolyn and Carson, and you know, people who can relate. For me, I'm just
So I will
entertained that
say,
Bruce is here. Bruce is here. I like that. I don't care. I like this.
no, I will
I don't,
say about Carolyn. Carolyn did tell Bruce to tone it down before he went back out there.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yet he
Like
has yet to tone
I
down.
think it was the story of Carolyn saying like when you go back out there because yeah, he was already confirmed for
Mm,
being in another season, not necessarily 45. And so like I remember Carolyn mentioning that she told him like when you go back out there, tone it down a little bit. To be fair to Carolyn, like she did warn him, you
yeah.
know.
But I guess that warning went out the window. Uh,
Yeah. So she feels
Yeah, and
bad
that's
for
coming
him.
from Carolyn. That's coming from Carolyn,
it's coming
somebody
from
that's all
Carolyn.
the way
Pal.
out
Oh,
there.
Yeah, for her
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But yeah, you can also
And so
try
if
to
she's
listen to
the
her
one that's
episode about
telling you
that.
to like tone it down a bit,
Yeah. But yeah, she still tries to, you know, sympathize with
yeah.
Bruce.
So if
So
Carolyn is the one that's telling you, there must be something there.
yeah, there must be something very wrong.
Yeah. Any other lows, you guys? I mean, I have
Anyway,
so few lows with this episode. I really love
Like,
this episode.
it is pretty good episode.
Greatest
Like
so far.
mm,
Best so
we've
far.
been
yeah,
saying
it's just pretty
that in the
much Kelly
past
being
few
caught in the
episodes, right?
crossfire. It's like
Yeah.
I'm scared though. When does the best episode so far stop for us in this season? Because every
It's been
review,
getting
this is
better
what
and
I'm
better.
hearing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
getting better
getting
and
been getting
better.
better and better.
I
Yeah.
really hope it does because I'm scared if this might have plateaued soon.
I'm not.
I I don't think so. I think that we still
You
have
know, the
enough
last
players in the
episode I
game.
didn't think was amazing.
Which one? Oh,
Which
okay.
one? The Caleb one? How did you guys react to that? Because I didn't get to listen to that. Was that the best
Yeah,
episode
like the
so
previous
far?
episode was good, but
Not the best. Okay. Okay. So we're okay. That's good. That's good.
hmm?
Yeah, I'm just worried
But yeah,
if
like
it just goes.
last week I didn't think that it was the best episode so far.
Okay.
That was just me.
Mm.
All right. Because I'm just scared
But
at
yeah,
this rate, it might
this
just go
one,
down. This one is good though. This one is good. Yeah. This one's real good.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
yeah, everybody is
we
playing
still have a
well.
lot of yeah. Everyone's playing. We still have a lot of players in the cast. I mean, we now see Drew because last week, Ja, that was one of the things that we talked about. Like Drew kept on talking about how he wanted to control the vote and all of that, but we didn't really see him doing anything. Jake did something last episode, but he lost. And then this episode, we're seeing more of those two guys trying to exert their influence on the game. And yeah, that's something that we're seeing now. We still have, I mean, D is D is sort of influential insofar as like she's a big character, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And that's why you always notice her, right? And everyone else, and Bruce is the same way. He's a big character. That's why you notice him. Emily, we notice her because she was that big character right off the bat, and then all of the ever since then she's been trying to tone herself down, or at least we've been seeing that she's been being presented as toning down, right? But we still have a lot of players. We still have a lot of characters in the game. But I think if it's not gonna get better and better, I don't think the quality of the episodes are gonna drop off that far anytime soon.
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So anyway, I get
great episode,
is that it for our
basically.
lows?
Yeah. I think that's it,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Let's
Yeah.
get to the
Huh?
predictions.
Everybody's playing well.
Mhm.
You know, like
Not a lot of lows.
it's
The thing, yeah.
Not a lot of lows. Not a lot of lows.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead to our prediction, starting with whose line is it actually? First things first, last episode, Zhao. I think we both got it wrong.
Wait,
Well,
who
we
said
got
the
it
dead
very wrong.
horse?
Yeah. We thought that it
Bruce.
was, yeah, Bruce said the line.
Wow. Damn, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce said the line following a dead horse to water. I still don't think it's an actual thing you say. But
It
the
is
way he said
now.
it,
It is
the way
what
he
it
said it,
is,
it made
man.
sense though, right? It's like following a dead horse to water. You're never gonna
Yeah,
get
you
there.
know,
I mean, we've been talking about goats on
yeah,
astroturfs, right? It's not like
But
that's
yeah,
far
but
from
that
left
was
field.
that was production. This is
Or-
something that Bruce supposedly knows.
Or Russell Feathers. Very old.
what I'm gonna say, Joe, is that I'm gonna give you a small dub on this one,
Because
right?
because I did say that
Because
it
you
was
were
something
saying
talking about Bruce.
you said something along the lines of, uh, Ellie is going to get the line if Bruce gets the boot.
Oh.
But it was the other way around.
You said Kelly is going to get the line if Bruce gets the boot. Yeah,
It's
so
the other
Bruce
way
got the
around.
boot. Or Bruce got the line. Kelly got the
Kelly
boot.
got the boot. So it's not a W, it's an M because it's reverse.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
M for magnificent.
M for magnificent. M for I'm sad because Kelly's gone. Anyway, so for this next episode, pretty philosophical. It is the episode title is Sword of Damocles.
I gotta be Bruce, right? No, just kidding. God
Can
damn
I
it,
mean
Bruce.
can
Stop
it
stop saying the lines or
yeah.
stop being said above the line. Like the thorn in my thumb.
Yeah, he's been around the line ever since for a while now. So Sword of Damocles. So in in mythology, I would say Sword of Damocles is actually talks about that anecdote of Damocles wanting to switch places with the king. And what happens was while he was sitting on the throne, he had a sword right on top of him to sort of signify the constant fear that something bad could happen, the fear that what do you call this, kings always feel uh, of something bad happening, of them being taken out of the throne, right? So that's actually what the sword of Damocles means, to live in constant fear that something very bad could happen at any time. So whose line is it
Yeah,
actually, guys?
I was actually hoping that Martin was going to explain that because he is, after all, our political science guy. And this was a story by Cicero or Cicero or Cicero, depending on
Chichero.
which Latin you speak.
I would like to talk
Yeah.
about this off recording because I don't want to job my course out here in the episode. Just saying.
Anyway, Sword of Damocles, whose line is it actually?
You know, last season
So
we
who is
tried to okay.
Who is Dionysius in this,
Yeah.
and who is Damocles? Who wants to switch places? It's probably going to be talking about somebody in the Viva Alliance, right? Because that's
Yeah.
who they're perceiving to be like
The group in power.
the kings, right?
The kingmaker.
Yeah, so it's
not the king and maker, they're the kings right now.
Yeah, Emily is the kingmaker.
Yeah.
So it's got to be somebody talking about Drew. Somebody talking about Drew. This is my prediction.
So you think that
feel-
Drew is Damocles?
Or then
Yeah. Or it's just like, like Drew is the one in power. It's like the sword of Damocles just waiting to fall. Something like that.
Hmm.
Like the quote is going to be something along those lines.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to say it, or it could be like Drew talking about D.
Mm. I actually have
That
that,
sounds
but
that
I
that
don't.
also sounds about right.
For me, it's
it
not
could work.
someone talking about D, but it's D talking about herself. She's thinking that she's in a position of power, but she's living in
Ooh.
constant
Oh,
fear that her alliance will turn its back on her. I'm getting the context from the red herring next time on Survivor,
Survivor.
right? Because on next time on Survivor, it did seem as if they were thinking that D is becoming too powerful,
Let's see.
so she might come up with the the line. It's like yeah, you've got the sword of Damocles or something like that. Yeah.
Right. If that's the case, I'm going to say that it's Drew talking about himself.
Mm.
Okay.
So it's Drew, not Bastille.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's Basile talking about Drew.
Yeah, but still talking about Oh
It's
god.
Bastille
The most,
talking about Drew.
it's the most meta thing ever.
What about you, Mart? So whose line is it actually?
I feel like it might be Emily talking about the Reba Alliance. Because she might
Ooh.
be the swing vote, but what I wouldn't do to be in that position instead of being the swing vote right now.
Because right now she
Like,
is number 5.
yeah.
Technically, she is number 5.
Either way, she's gonna be next if they like remain.
Yeah.
What she
Yeah.
wouldn't do, right? For
Well, I think that she is very astute in the fact
Mhm.
that because she manages risk, right? Or she analyzes risk
Yeah,
in her day to day job. So she's gonna. That's actually one of my predictions. She's gonna start making moves to go up the Reba ladder. So she might be the one to instigate that uh quote unquote rebellion against D.
the breakup. The
Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, because she actually think her alliances, her ties, her bonds with Reba are actually more with Drew and Austin because they're the ones that she spent time with more than Dee and Julie. All right.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. She was
That
I remember that. Like she she was the one that told Drew about the potential girls alliance thing, right?
Yeah.
Like so, you know, that that should have come from D, but it came from Emily to Drew. So,
Yeah.
you know. Anyway.
Anyway, other predictions that you've got for the next episode.
it may not be the breaking up of the Reba 4, but if Bruce survived this episode, bye bye Brucey. I feel like
Oh,
this is his swan song.
but he's got an idol though.
Yeah, but we have seen people leave the game with one or two idols in their pockets.
True, but I do think that Bruce is paranoid enough to think that he'll really play the idol if he knows that they're coming after them, right? The
True.
the bellow, right?
But there's a
So
lot of players in this game right now.
yeah, there
And
are.
an actor.
Mm.
So
Yeah, but
this
basically
might be a
the
good
only bellow
Uh,
left are him, Jake, and
Jake.
Katura, who has turned on them already, and Kendra.
Yeah.
Right? So there's just
Kendra.
basically 3 of them left because Katura's already gone to has already sided with Reba.
The Reba. Yeah. So yeah, that's my bold prediction. This might be a
You
very
think it's gonna
interesting
be Bruce?
episode where they're gonna take out Brucey.
Yeah.
That's it. I
For
could
me,
be
he's gonna live for one more episode, but I do think that he's gonna use his idol.
all right.
Uh,
It's an
I'm
idol
thinking of
fish.
I'm thinking of a Bruce revenge tour, right? He has like this is the like he's he's heel Bruce, right? He's heel
Mhm.
Bruce.
Yeah.
But then when you see the next time on Survivor, this seems like the origin story for supervillain Bruce. They took out my closest alliance
Yeah.
member.
Now
so
I will
so I'm
come
going
for
to
them.
yeah, so I'm going to say that this is the origin story of supervillain Bruce. So we're going to see him as a supervillain.
You just
Yes, the
gave me
origin
one
story of
bad
the
day,
supervillain Bruce.
guys.
Yeah, that was his one bad day.
Took out his number one. Took out his number one.
What's
Oh,
gonna happen with the immunity challenge or whatever, where three people are supposed to lose their vote?
oh
I
crap.
don't know. Yeah,
Hey,
that's interesting. How many are there left? 9, right? 9?
Nine. So it's gonna be 3-3-3,
oh my
and
god.
then I
Oh
Maybe.
guess
crap.
one group gets to lose all three votes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they showed what the breakdown was.
It'll be scary, man.
Let me check that out if they actually showed it. Oh, wait, what? No,
Yeah.
that's this season.
For
Uh,
for me, I think that for at least for the next couple of episodes, Katura will still have no agency in her game. She'll keep on doing the whole Bruce, I want you out and all of that, but it will still amount to nothing, right? Because she actually doesn't have agency in the game right now. She's in the middle of the Reba 4 plus Emily and Bello.
does that not look like a supervillain?
You know how
Anyway,
he got
sorry,
those
sorry.
powers?
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, so I don't know if Katura will have any agency in her game. She's in a no-win situation for me right now. I don't think that she's
Oh,
got anything good.
whoa.
So you see the breakdown?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh?
Can you see
Okay, so
that?
that's Drew,
Drew
Emily, and
Jake
D.
Eddie.
Wait, no, that's Drew, Jake, and D.
Yeah,
Oh,
Joe,
that's is that
Jake,
Jake?
and Dre. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
Jake. Yeah.
yeah, Drew, Jake,
Who's
and
with
D.
Austin?
Then it's Austin, Katura, and Emily,
Oh.
and Julie, Bruce, and Kendra.
Yeah, Julie, Bruce, Kendra. I'm sorry.
Here we go again.
Mm.
Yeah. Nice knowing you, Bruce. Nice knowing you.
Yeah. So
So we're
Bruce.
going to be one Reba vote short, regardless.
Mhm. But still, one Reba vote short. They basically have 5 right now full votes if you count Emily.
The worst outcome for the Reba alliance is going to be if the team of Austin, Katura, and Emily
Mm.
lose their vote, because that leaves them in a 3-3 split.
Yeah.
That's what I want to happen, by the way.
So it's more interesting.
Sorry, Austin. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Because
We'll see.
if, say, for example, the team of Julie, Bruce, and Kendra
Mhm.
like gets voted loses their votes, then it's
It's Reba.
it's a Reba washout. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do hope that they follow up this last episode, with more gameplay and less dogpile. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm hoping that the Reba Alliance will get, well, I mean, cracks are going to start showing. And Drew starts getting uh, selfish because he thinks that he's got Austin and now Emily and maybe even Katura. Right?
Mm.
Yeah. So they might implode before they take out
Oof.
the Bellow Strong group.
Yeah. So that would be very interesting. That would be the best scenario for my winner pick. So uh go Jake.
Anyway, any other predictions,
Yes.
guys?
Oh,
Absolutely go Jake.
Marts?
Uh
it's gonna be a glorious Bruce exit. That's all I can. That's my wild
Okay.
prediction for next episode. That's it.
What about you, Joe? Any more predictions?
yeah. Uh, hmm. I'm gonna I'm gonna go against the flow. And say that they're trying to pull an Uno reverse card on us, and it's actually going to be D. That's the
Ooh.
boot.
Ah, okay. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible. It's possible.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I still
you know
do
me.
think that
Every
Bruce is
now and
gonna
then, yeah, you know me. I usually have one prediction that's reasonable and one that swings for the fences. My reasonable one is the Who's line, and my swing for the fences one is the D boot.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I still do think that there's gonna be an idol flush for Bruce.
Mm.
And yeah, I can't quite see who's gonna get voted out. I can't predict who's gonna get voted out. But I do think that it's gonna be from Reba. It's gonna be someone from Reba. It's not gonna be someone uh from Bello. And I don't think it's gonna be Emily.
Mm. If Emily gets voted out, we riot.
You build her up from the first episode, showing us who she's supposedly not, and then rebuild her. And now you're just gonna vote her out just like that? What the hell, guys? Anyway,
Yeah. I'm still really butthurt that it wasn't the case that Caleb brought Emily to the end as a goat and Emily won.
mm,
Hmm.
That's what I really that was my headcanon at the beginning of the season.
yeah. Well, maybe we'll have Emily and Bruce heading to the end of the season, or Emily and Jake, ooh, or Emily and Drew. Anyone with Emily, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and proceed to survivors of the week, starting with castaway of the week. Who you got, Marts?
Jake.
Nice.
He
Why?
he owned this episode like from start post tribal council in the last episode to finish in the end of the tribal council. Like narrative wise, he's the opening and the ending of this ep. So I gotta give it to him. Like that was pretty good by not only him but the editors on how they crafted, how they piece by piece this recent episode of Survivor. And
Mm.
I'm really happy for that. Like I really am living for it. Like how he's trying to repair the situation. Oh shit, yeah, I voted for you. Survivor works that way, huh? Yeah, yeah. But you won't say that if you got your name voted on, or something like that, right? Like what the lady said to
Mhm.
him at the start.
Julie.
So, Julie, yeah. So, yeah, for me, Jake. Jake gotta beat Survivor of the week.
Nice. Okay, castaway of the week for Martin is Jake. Zhao, who you got?
It's a toss up between Jake and Drew.
Jake and Drew.
Mm,
Jake uh, for the reasons that Martin mentioned, plus his what I think is great acting chops. But then I guess the winner interview is going to have to shed some light on that. So I suppose this is another one of those situations where we have a little bit of a Schrodinger's survivor of the week because
Mm-hmm.
it's contingent upon whether or not that was acting, right? Whether or
Mm-hmm.
not tribal council was, a piece of theater. Um, with Jake as the lead, or if he was just fumbling along.
Mm-hmm.
So his survivor of the week status is contingent upon that. But the other one is true because of just the grip that he has on the Reba Alliance right
Mm-hmm.
now. It's it's really interesting because he has such a tight grip on the Reba Alliance, and he's doing it while playing a quote unquote honorable game. Like the strategy of like radical honesty
Mm-hmm.
seems to be working, and it seems to be working well thus far. When we were saying that um he uh he was like extremely brutally honest with my boy Brando. Um, I got a shiny Shinx, by the way, with a hat. Um, but like when he told Brando, like, no, I'm not gonna do the Geek Alliance thing with you. It's like, oh, brutally honest gameplay. Like, I'm not sure I've seen this work so well. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a toss up between Jake and Drew. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. For me, my castaway of the week is also Jake. Actually, for me, he played a more intelligent game this episode. He didn't offer a name when who was it? Dee and Julie were trying to get something out of it, or was it Emmett or Kelly and
Yeah.
whoever it was? They were trying to trip him up so that they can use it as something against him later on. And of course, the things that you guys mentioned, he used his theater background for that bluff. Again, Schrodinger's what do you call that? Castaway of the week. Yeah, because we don't quite know if he actually did do that on purpose. Although, yeah, also being someone from with a theater background, I do think that that was something he planned all along. But yeah, so that's mine.
I
Castaway.
believe, Jake. I believe.
Yes. And the fact that it was foreshadowed at the start of the episode, how his acting chops are actually pretty good, or pretty good for people who get on Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
all right. So let's go ahead to goat of the week. Who do you have as goat of the week? More Jao.
Uh, that bag of rice got
Why? Why?
stabbed.
Why? It got stabbed for no
Got
reason.
stabbed.
It was just there. It was just hanging out, hanging out. And
Because
then
Jeff
then here
came.
comes Jeff. Sassy, nasty Jeff.
Fulfilling its purpose as being a receptacle for, you know for starch, and like all of a sudden it just gets stabbed by Jeff Probst. I mean, if we insist upon it being a human, I suppose it's gonna have to be like Bruce, but the bag of rice.
I accept that. I accept the bag of
Nobody
rice
wants
as
to
an
get
answer.
stabbed.
Yeah, I accept the bag of rice as an answer. What about you, Martz?
Well, I gotta go for Bruce.
Why?
Was supposed to be the one out, but he won. But I think I don't know. He's not gonna be a goat anytime soon because the one who wanted to bring him to the end is gone.
Well, I think
So
anyone else wants to bring him to the end.
But
yeah, who knows?
I was just gonna say that, like, everybody wants to bring Bruce to the end
Yeah,
as their goat because nobody is going to give him the million. Nobody's going to
yeah.
give him the win because it isn't a big part of the final vote in Survivor is likability.
Hmm.
It's just not only how well you played, but also just how likable you are. Look at Gabler, right?
Hmm.
Like, look at Jam Jam. These are like extremely likable players, and they were the ones that got the win. So if you have literally anybody in the cast currently with Bruce in the final tribal, like everybody in the cast, at least what we're being told by the show is that they are going to be more likable than Bruce.
Mhm.
Much to the dismay of Carolyn.
Yeah. Sorry, Carol.
At least
Sorry.
that's what the show is telling us.
Yeah. I actually also have Bruce as my goat of the week because
But yeah, I can see that.
despite having an idol and winning immunity, he had no significance whatsoever
Yeah.
in affecting the outcome of tribal. Like,
It's
yeah.
like it's $80. It's like
Yeah, I mean he was
didn't
basically the main reason also why Kelly was voted out, because Kelly was voted out based on association, right? And then he didn't even get to help his number
Yeah,
one, right? We already had Jake asking him if
yeah.
he is willing to give his idol to Jake, right? But then again, it was such a beautiful blindside. I don't think that he had any idea that Kelly was on the way out anyway. But yeah, Bruce for me was the goat of this episode. Goat of the week. Yeah, moving on. Purple of the week. Who you got? Marts.
purple. Honestly, I didn't feel like anyone got purpled out significantly. Unless I am remembering this episode wrong. Like, I feel like everyone had a line, at least a line or two, right? Even Katura, even the
Yeah.
D. So I don't know. I'm stumped.
Hmm.
What you guys?
Jao, who you got?
So Martin's purple of the week is the concept of
Of
a
having a
purple of the
purple.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a well
Yes.
balanced diet.
His purple of the week is the concept of purpleness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was all red and blue,
Yes.
Reba and Bello. So
Hey,
there
don't
was no
forget Emily.
mixing.
Don't
There was
forget-
no mixing of the red and the blue, so there was no purple.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get it.
What
I was like, wait, why you forget about? Oh,
about you, Joe? Who you got?
For my purple of the week, I'm going to say any uh any good feelings that I had
out.
because Kelly got
Kelly got
blindsided.
blindsided.
Oh,
Kelly got voted out and she was blindsided on
now
the
we're
way
out for
out.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of the good feelings that I had, they just disappeared into the edit.
Yeah. They're all on the editing room floor, if there is
Yep.
still such a thing in today's world of digital content.
Or maybe
yeah.
I was just gonna say it could also be the dude that was trying to follow a dead horse to water.
What?
Because
That person still hasn't showed up because
Yeah.
he's trying to follow a dead horse.
yeah, that saying just does not make sense. It made sense when Bruce said it, but it does not make sense at all. Anyway, for me, my purple of the week still is actually, even though she got a line, and even though Bruce did not have any significance in the tribal, for me it still is Katura. Because aside from all of her reactions about Bruce not getting any money or Bruce getting the immunity,
Or
she
Jake's
did
line
not
on the
affect this
tribal.
episode at all, right?
Mm,
Because
that's interesting.
even though she voted with the Reba four
Mhm.
and Emily, the five votes would still have gotten Kelly out.
Oh
Right?
yeah, she's a non-factor.
She was a non-factor for this episode, except for the fact that she
It
was like
could,
whining all about Bruce.
Bruce.
they're,
Like,
they're
it's
really doing her
all
so
day
dirty.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel bad because her first episode was good, and then like
yeah.
just went
The way that she was talking with Jake, yeah, that was
and
actually
it
pretty
went
good.
downhill from there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so one dimensional. So the rest of The rest of Katura's dimension are purpled, I guess,
Yeah.
because she's just so one-dimensional in this season.
It's all about, oh, I hate Bruce. I don't like Bruce. There's nothing, she doesn't bring anything else to the table.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that in her exit interview, that's the thing that she's gonna like bitch the most about. Like, I did more on the island than complain about Bruce. Like, I'm sure it's like the producers were asking me to complain about everybody, but they only picked out the Bruce ones.
Damn it,
I'm pretty
Bruce.
sure. I'm pretty sure that's the thing.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Any other thoughts about the episode?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. Like,
Best one so far.
Best one so far. Worthy of the 50th
Oh,
episode of the
I
Council of
suppose.
Titos.
you have what?
I suppose I should mention this as one of my predictions.
Mm.
Kelly is going to be a returning player at some point. For one of those second
Oh.
chances type
Yeah.
seasons,
sure,
maybe
sure.
like
Yeah.
5 years from now or something.
Yeah.
If not, at least a better season of the Challenge USA.
Well, right now she's
It could be
playing.
on.
Right now she's playing Civ 6 on on online. She keeps on asking for
Wow.
strategies on how to play Civ 6. Yeah, that's why I
Should play
reinstalled
Civ
Civ 6
5
on my
now.
PC.
I
Yeah.
got the older Civ thanks to our friend Miko from his streams.
So yeah. Well, yeah, we do hope that she gets back. She was sort of propped up as a very strategic player, and unfortunately the her connections were with Bruce, or well, she hasn't been openly advertising her connection with Bruce. It's Bruce who has been openly advertising his connection with her. Yeah,
Number one.
So sad.
and that's why she got voted out or blindsided out of association, by association, unfortunately. Yeah. So
Blindside by association. I like that.
yeah. So hopefully she gets another chance at this whole game, without a Bruce.
Damn it, Bruce.
This time with the Philip Shepard. Anyway, if there is nothing else, this episode, as I've been saying, has been really worthy of our 50th episode. So we're through 50 episodes. Titos, the Council of Titos of the Council of Titos. Anyway, that is it for tonight's episode. This the 50th episode. We would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button so we don't get voted off the channel. So we get to make 50 more episodes, and you get to see them. At any rate, we hope that you enjoyed this this sit down by the council. This has been Joel Parcon.
Terima kasih banyak. Jumpa lagi.
Oh yeah. And this is Martin, and another bold prediction. We may have one extra guest for next week.
We'll see. Anyway, we hope to see you on the council again soon. Until then, stay safe, mga kalaro. The Titos has spoken.